Okay, so welcome to this training tonight, guys. I want to preface this by saying normally this is about an hour to 2 hour training, depending on what's going to be covered. I'm going to try and keep this right around 30 minutes, might get to 35 minutes, but with that being said, we're obviously not going to touch on every single thing that we could in that 2 minutes, but we're going to hit some of the highlights, and then we will definitely continue moving forward to train on a few other things as well. First, I do want to let everybody know who's on the call, just who's represented here. Right now we have people on from Orlando, a couple people from Orlando. We have South Florida, Fort Lauderdale is being represented. We have Charlotte being represented. We do have Philadelphia being represented, and then we even have way up in Canada, the north of the border, is being represented. And then just south of that border, Michigan is also being represented here on the call. So we've got the entire landscape, almost of North America, being represented here. Next, if you're on this call, this is going to be treated like a business call. So I'm assuming that everybody that's on here is either working AdvoCare as a business, interested in doing AdvoCare as a business. We are going to talk a lot about products, and we're going to talk about some of the products from a standpoint of moving these products and selling these products. And, maybe you're not 100% sure that you want to do this as a business, but maybe you know some people that you want to help, and maybe you're just looking to help out some people get some better results. Moving on, this business was started and founded by Charlie Regis, and when he put this business together, he said, he wanted three things. He wanted to create the world's finest nutritional products. He said that those products would only be available through a direct selling model, meaning you won't find these products in GNC, you won't find them in Vitamin World, you won't find them on the shelves of Walmart or anything like that. They are only going to be available through a distributor. And that if those first two were true, and if he could accomplish those first two goals of his, that the third one was going to be there, and that was to provide an opportunity for ordinary people to do something extraordinary with their lives. And I don't think anybody on this call is ordinary by any means, because you're on the call and you have a heart for helping some other people, and you want something out of it. You have a goal. And to be honest, you guys have hopped on a call tonight, Monday night, 9 o'clock, first night of the week. I know a lot of people have to work. A lot of people have a lot of things going on. You're thinking about your entire week ahead of you, and yet you still hop on this call because you see something, you saw something, or you want something, out of AdvoCare. So really, to get started, you need to know your reason why. What is it that you want? What is it that you want to accomplish? And when we talk about your reason why, it says here you should definitely be very specific, right? Not I just want to make money, not just I want to help people, because those are two pretty generic things. You can do anything to make money. You can go out and volunteer somewhere to help people, and those are noble causes, and there's nothing wrong with either one of those. But you need to know why AdvoCare. What is it that AdvoCare can do for you? What is it that AdvoCare can do for your family? What is it that AdvoCare can do for the people in your circle? And to be honest, for people that you haven't even met yet, on a specific, dollar figure amount, how much do you want to earn with AdvoCare? How much do you want to earn in your first 90 days? How much do you want to earn in your first 6 months? If you haven't really thought about that, if you haven't written down a specific number, and put a goal, it's like throwing a dart at a bullseye, but there aren't those little rings there. You're just throwing darts, at a wall somewhere. So you definitely need to know what is your reason why, be specific with it, and make sure that your reason why is big. So it's not just money, but what can that money do for you? What do you want to do with that money? What can it do for your family? And then you should really think about what are the things, that you really want. We were at a training with Diane McDaniel here in Orlando, and one of the things that she said is that you should be real with what it is that you want. There's nothing wrong. If it is some material things, there's nothing wrong with material things. I bet if you wrote down a list of all of your wants, the things that you want in your life, the things that you don't have, whether they are material things or there are little things, but I would say dream big. the majority of those things don't come at the cost or detriment of someone else. Most of the things that you want in your life, you want because they're good for you, they're good for your family, they're good for someone else. So there's nothing wrong with wanting things. The other thing that you should really think about is some of the things that you want to get rid of in your life. You know, what is it that you want? And maybe you don't want debt. That's a big one. That's a normal one. But maybe it's something in your house. Maybe you got a black faux leather couch in your house that you just want to get rid of. You're tired of sitting on that couch. You want it out. You want a brand new couch. Then put that on there, you know. But you got to be focused to chase down your dreams and get after what you really want. So your why really has to be big. And you can see there, people don't buy what you do. They buy why you are doing it. So moving forward, Charlie wasn't a doctor. None of us are doctors. So in order to make that first goal true where we had the best nutritional products, he had to find the best doctors. So you have a panel of doctors. These are just 6 of the 13 on our SciMed board, and these doctors are the who's who of medicine and the who's who in their field. All right, you have Dr. Sidney Stowe there. He's the chair of the SciMed board. He's a urologist, and his job is to know how much of something is good for you and when too much is bad for you. And he was called to Congress because they wanted his input on ephedra. And ephedra was a drug that was around back in the 90s, back in the early 2000s. And ephedra was extremely, extremely effective when used in the right amounts. And that's what Dr. Sidney Stowe told them. But he also said, we know that some people, when they find something that's effective, they want to use more of it. And it's easy to use too much ephedra to have it become toxic. So he was called to Congress, you know, for his input. Then you have Dr. Stanley Dudrick. I know a lot of us on here have heard his story before, but he is the one who formulated TPN. He was the first person to put nutrition intravenously in the body. You have Carl Keene. He's one of the top cited researchers in the world. So when someone else, other researchers are actually doing research, right, on nutrition, they cite Carl Keene. So these are the people that put our products together, and these are the ones who formulate them, and these are the professionals, right? So because of who they are, we don't have to be professionals on all the ingredients. So what are we responsible for, you know, when it comes to sharing products? The big thing right there is we're responsible for the taking, the timing, and the benefits of the products. That's it right there, the taking, the timing, and the benefits of the products. So after we can communicate those, and that's huge, that's really what we're going to talk about some today, and really how to move product in the marketplace. After that, then we want to get on the follow-up, now know how to access product information, things like that, and that's all through your microsites. So what are we not responsible for? We are not responsible for the ingredients, right? We do not have to have an exercise science or biology or medical degree in order to be successful with Advocare. And in fact, if you do, the people who do often struggle, and you see it at the bottom, stories sell, ingredients don't, right? And when you know a lot, you have a world full of knowledge, you like to try to share that with people. And to be honest, the more you get into the ingredients, the more you get into the science behind the product, the less successful you're going to be, because most people don't really care about the products and like what's in it. They care about what it's going to do for them, right? And that's why the stories sell. And we're gonna show you guys today how to sell some of these products and how to communicate some of that. 4 fundamentals here with Advocare. First and foremost, you have to use products. You have to be a product of the product. You can't really ask someone to do something that you're not doing. You can't really speak passionately about the products if you've never put them in your body and if you're not continuously, regularly using the products. The next thing you have to do, you have to talk to people, right? So you're using the products, and chances are if you are using them and you're on them, you've had some great results, you've seen some great benefits in other people, you're fired up and you're passionate about it, and you want to share. The next thing, after you talk to people, follow up. And I'll be 100% transparent and say that's one of my areas of opportunity is following up with people after we've talked to them, after we've put them on products. That's something that I need to get a whole lot better at. The last thing there is wear the colors. I'll share a story quickly. I went to the gym today wearing my Advocare shirt, walking through the YMCA. This guy is working at the YMCA. He says, "Hey, man, Advocare, I love that." It's like, hold on a second. And he's looking for his Champion band on his wrist. Okay, I'm thinking, oh, great, he's a distributor and he loves Advocare, awesome. He's like, by the way, I need somebody who can get me one of those 30-day challenges. Oh, you mean a 24-day challenge? He's like, yeah, I just moved down here from Pennsylvania. The guy I was buying from was up there in Pennsylvania, so I need somebody down here. And that was all because I was wearing my Advocare shirt, and that's happened probably 10 or 15 times. So how do most people get introduced to Advocare? It's through the 24-day challenge. I know most of us that are on here know about the challenge. I'm just going to breeze through. We do have some aids and some tools that you should be using when you're coaching your friends through the 24-day challenge. If you are not using these are all about follow-up. These are all about third-party credibility. If you're not coaching your friends and helping your people through the challenge, you are doing them a disservice. Anytime people use these aids and use these tools, they always, always, always get better results. So the 24-day challenge we know has two parts. There's the cleanse phase and the max phase, and we're going to talk about some of those products inside the cleanse phase. First, the herbal cleanse. And there's some bullet points that are on here, and you can use some of these, but I'll tell you some of the phrasing and the words that I use to kind of help describe and tell stories about the 24-day challenge and the products. And these aren't my stories. These are stories that I've taken from people who've been more successful than me. So that herbal cleanse and what the cleanse phase does, it's almost like a dryer, right? And I use this often. You know the lint trap or your dryer. You take out the lint trap, you clean it off, you put it back in, the dryer just runs better. That's what the cleanse phase does for you. Okay, and the fact that it helps rid the body of toxins and it helps increase your absorption levels. So that's the way that I describe the herbal cleanse. Inside the herbal cleanse, now there's 3 different products that are inside the herbal cleanse. One is the fiber drink. Fiber is awesome. It has 10 grams of fiber. Fiber is perfect for regularity and to help eliminate waste. Right? It also provides a feeling of fullness. If everybody on here has been on that 24-day challenge, you know what happens after you drink the fiber. You feel full, but it also helps move things along, right? So that's the way that I describe the fiber drink. It helps move things along. Probiotics. So this is the best story, right, the best alliteration that I've heard for the probiotic restore. So if you think about your gut, you think about your intestines, think about it like a garden. Well, the probiotic, what that does is it helps weed the garden. Gets rid of the bad stuff and helps you put the good stuff in. And that's exactly what the probiotic does. Everybody should be taking probiotics. I have Alexis on them, my daughter. They're good for, I believe, you can look on the bottle, but they're good for, I believe, age 5 and up. But they're great for kids, great for young athletes, great for old athletes, great for everybody. Everybody needs some help with that regularity. The Omegaplex, okay, so the story of the alliteration to go along with this one, this is good fats that help remove the bad fats. You see that last bullet point, I always share that one. It's good for your hair, your skin, your nails, and awesome for the cardiovascular system. Moving right along, Spark. We all know what Spark is like. It's brain food, right? 3 to 5 hours of productive energy, right? Mental focus and clarity. Spark is awesome. You want to get Spark in people's bodies, and they feel the difference. They notice the difference. So after the cleanse phase is when you have the max pack phase. So the way that I describe the max pack phase is it's like you're taking a big old bucket of nutrition and dumping it in your body. When you do that, good things happen, right? It was for myself. It was on day 13, which was just starting the max phase, when I felt a difference. I woke up, I felt cleaner, I had more energy, I was sleeping better, I was waking up on 2 snoozes instead of 6. That's my story that I use with the max phase. And we'll talk about, again, there's 3 products in the max phases. First is the Metabolic Nutrition System, MNS, Metabolic Nutrition System. And this just fills in the gaps from what we're missing from our food. Huge micronutrients that fill in the gaps from what we're missing from our food. And there's three different metabolic nutrition systems. There's the Max E, the Max C, and the Max 3. I believe everyone on this call will be on this call. We've had some exposure to that. So just in the interest of time, I'm going to move on past that. Then the meal replacement shakes. I love meal replacement shakes. If you are with me at any given point in the day, especially in the beginning of the day, you see my little lunchbox that I take with me always has a meal replacement shake in there because they're quick, they're easy, they taste good. You get 24 grams of carb, 24 grams of protein. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. It's a perfect start to the day. Perfect start to the day. And then if you have some people who are on the go and always moving, and one of the biggest things that I emphasize with people when coaching them through the challenge is making sure that you plan ahead and that you have food available. These meal replacement shakes are ideal for people who are busy. Catalyst it helps the body use fat as energy and preserves lean muscle. Okay? Helps the body use fat as energy and preserve lean muscle. Catalyst, I won't have anyone do a challenge without Catalyst. It's an awesome product. Again, I think most of the people on this product that are on this call have been on a challenge and have exposure to Catalyst. So I'm going to move through a couple of these, again, just in the interest of time, but know that there are some additional add-ons that you can have for the 24-day challenge, Thermo Plus, Fiber Trim, Carbies, Leptoline. These are all really, really awesome products. If you want more information than we're giving here, just because of time, you can reach out to me and I'll gladly give it to you. So when you speak about the 24-day challenge, and we're trying to move challenges, we're trying to help somebody understand why they should. One, we just showed all the benefits through all the different products. Okay. And when you talk about cost versus benefit, again, never focus on the cost. Help them see the benefits, okay? And you see that for most customers, this is merely an exchange process. I've had probably 10 to 15 people tell me they were saving money on the 24-day challenge because they were making better food decisions, right? They were preparing, food ahead of time, and they weren't spending $5 or $6 at 7-Eleven. They weren't spending $7 or $8 at Starbucks. They were just saving money throughout the day because they had all the energy that they needed, all the food that they needed, and just a little bit of preparation, helped them out tremendously. So they saved money. Then when you look, and this is kind of what I was talking about, on a daily basis, a lot of people are spending $8 or $9 a day just on, a bottle of water, stopping for food somewhere, and maybe it's not even fast food. Maybe they're making good decisions, at a fast food place, but you can't go in and leave without spending at least $5 or $6. Okay? Coffee, tea, soda. So if they cut all those things out of their day and it's an exchange process, you see even as a retail customer, they'll save money on the 24-day challenge. So when we're talking about the challenge, and really when we're talking about Advocare, as a business, you do need to be intentional. You do need to do things on purpose and by design. When I speak to someone about a 24-day challenge, again, I'm not telling them, hey, you could stand to lose a few pounds. Why don't you hop on this 24-day challenge? The way that I do it is I share my story plus 2 others, okay? My story plus 2 others. So in order to share your story, you need to have your own product story, right? So you need to develop your own product story within the first 72 hours. You might say, 72 hours, how can I lose weight in 72 hours? Well, your product story is not all about losing weight. And in fact, one of the things that I say about the Challenge and Advocare products, this is a health plan. Okay, this is not a weight loss plan. This is a health plan. This is going to improve your health. And as you improve your health and as you get healthier, your body's going to move to a healthier body weight. And in fact, you'll probably see a few other benefits other than weight loss, and maybe even see a few other benefits before weight loss because you need to improve your health. So your own product story, you might say, hey, listen, I took a Spark and I felt it immediately. And next thing I knew, I had my entire to-do list checked off. Or your product story within the first 72 hours, like, listen, I was sleeping better, I was waking up better. I had more energy throughout the day. I have Karen Vallell, and she's a lady. If you're in our 24-day challenge Team Vision Challenge group, you can see some of the stories that are in there. So Karen Vallell, admittedly, is not the healthiest person, and she told me every single day. So, I encouraged her to take the cleanse and just do the cleanse. She didn't want to do the entire challenge. But on day 2 of her cleanse, she sent me a text and said, wow, I have a whole lot more energy. Could it be these products are working? And that was only on the cleanse, not anything else, not the Spark, not anything else, just the cleanse. So you need to develop your own product story within the first 72 hours. And if you need help with that, again, reach out to me. I can help you develop your product story. Everybody on there has one already. Okay? Next thing. Give me a second there. Okay. So when you share your product story, when you share your story with your friends, right, it's, again, key to follow up. And this slide is really kind of directed at following up on the 24-day challenge. But if you sample somebody on Spark, if you give them a product, if it's not only if it's Spark, but if it's nighttime recovery, one of my favorite products, if it's Rehydrate, whatever it is that you sample them on, you need to follow up with them later that day, within the hour, next day. How do you feel, right? How do you like that product? 9 times out of 10, you're going to get some positive response. Okay, now moving on to the business side of it, again, where are the colors? I shared my story from earlier today. My neighbor is a distributor and regular product user only because I walked out of Walmart and I'm wearing my Advocare shirt. She comes up to me and says, I've seen a lot of this Advocare stuff. What is this all about, right? She did a 24-day challenge. She lost about 8 pounds. She has multiple sclerosis and has energy issues, and she absolutely loves Spark, and that came just from wearing my colors and then sharing my story with her. So, again, to be successful in Advocare, you got to have some fundamentals, and we'll talk a little bit later about some of the other fundamentals, but fundamentals lead to a solid foundation, right? Those fundamentals, we talked about some of them earlier. Share your story. Talk to people. Be a product of the product. Follow up. Duplication is huge. So if you want to build this to any type of a successful level, then it's not just your efforts, but it's the effort of your team, right, the people that are around you. So you need to do things that are duplicatable. And if you are just following those fundamentals, if you're sharing your story over and over again, then your team is going to duplicate that. Be consistent. Be teachable. Biggest one down there, no excuse. No excuse. Okay? Don't give yourself any excuses. I don't have time. I don't know anybody. If you have an excuse and you want to try to overcome it, give me a call. Let me know, and I'll help you overcome that excuse. But there's no reason why anyone here can't be successful. If you look at some of the people who are successful with Advocare, there's no reason anyone who's on this call can't be successful because it's a duplicatable system. So this is a who you know business. Okay? Who do you know? And it says connect me with them, or connect whomever is helping you the most in Advocare with the people that you know. And it's not just about trying to sell them challenges. It's not just about trying to get money out of them. This is about helping communicate the story of Advocare and what the product can do, what the business can do, what the opportunity can do for them, right? You are the preview to the movie, and it all starts with your 30-second story, okay? You're just the preview. If you give them too much, right, there's no reason to see any more of the movie, and you will not be successful. This equation there, you, your sponsor, and your prospect equals success, okay? You without your sponsor will lead to frustration, right? You might move some products. You might have some early success. But if you don't involve your sponsor, if you don't involve the people that are around you that are helping you, then you will not experience long-term success. Okay, think about it like a wolf pack. You know, a wolf that's out, that lone wolf that's out on its own, he's always going to catch, a couple of rabbits here and there, maybe a few squirrels, little field mice. But what does the wolf pack do, right? The wolf pack can bring in a feast, right? You're always stronger as a team than you are as an individual. So The law of the big mo. We want to establish momentum, build some momentum. So how do we do that? First of all, you start with one-on-one conversation. In that one-on-one conversation, you are sharing your package story. The entire purpose of your package story is just to elicit curiosity, to be the preview, and to help your prospect get to that third-party credibility. Third-party credibility is the three-way calls, right? Is your mixers. If you're in an area that has mixers, awesome. Take your prospects to them. Number one rule in AdvoCare is get yourself and your prospects to the live events. Okay? If you're not in an area, and I know some of you on here are in a rural area, an area where AdvoCare hasn't quite reached out to yet, and you don't have a system of mixers set up, that's even better, because you then have the opportunity to establish your own culture. You be the one, right? You be the Mike Farrow who's in Orlando. Mike Farrow is one of the first people in Orlando to do AdvoCare consistently. 14 years later, right now, he earns $120,000 a month because he helped establish a culture and get mixers going in the area. The biggest third-party credibility, the hugest third-party credibility out there is Success School. So if you've never been to Success School, you need to get there, right? It's almost like that Fight Club. Those who aren't in Fight Club can't talk about Fight Club. But you can't explain what you're going to get there at Success School. 3 days of training that is unlike any other, right? It says step 4. That should be the hugest one there. 3 days of quality training. I'll just share what I got out of Success School, and what I continue to get out of it is pages and pages and pages of notes, is the building blocks of how exactly you're going to build this business. And most importantly, you see other people there. You're in this one will be in Cowboy Stadium with 40,000 other people with a like mindset. You talk about that wolf pack, being around like-minded people. You're around those like-minded people, and you see the ones who are successful, and you think to yourself over and over and over again, if they can do it, so can I. If they can do it, why can't I? Right? If it can happen for them, why can't it happen for me? And it can. It can happen for every single person on here. But you need to be in the room to get that feeling. You need to be in the room to experience that passion and really see it. I've had some people say, hey, listen, can you just take notes and bring it back to me? Well, no, you can't really do that because you miss the feel of the entire room, and you can't convey emotion onto someone else. So you have to be in that room. So steps to success. You see there, one-on-one meetings, two-on-one meetings, three-way phone calls. That leads into the mixer or the webinar or conference call. We have Saturday trainings. I'm sure you guys have seen some of those events pop up, right? And it just keeps going and on and on and on and on. We have larger group meetings, regional meetings, National Success School. There's so much out there that we just have to take advantage of and grab it by the horn. This is a huge, huge opportunity, and it's only going to happen if you go to work. So, again, rule number 1, get yourself and your team to the impending event. Get there. You can only paint vision as big as yourself, right? One person can't paint vision that equals 50,000 people. One person can't paint vision that equals 10 people, right? So if there's a mixer somewhere and there's only 6 people there or 8 people there, you be one of those 6 or 8 along with your buddy and your team, and vision will be painted. One of the most powerful mixers and events that I went to was at Julie Jink's house, and it was in Mount Dora, Florida, right? It was about a half an hour away. The whole reason why I went was just to network with other leaders there, and we had about 6 people there, and it was one of the most powerful mixers that I've ever been to and ever attended, just because we were really able to share, we were really able to do some serious training, we were really able to just kind of dig in and get in the ditch with every single person there and get a lot out of it. So I'll wrap up by saying, most people think, that what you start with is what you're stuck with. Well, when you started your profession and you started your career, chances are you weren't anywhere near as effective as you are now, right? Same thing in AdvoCare. When you start out with AdvoCare, you're nowhere near as effective and efficient as you're going to be a day later if you apply yourself, if you commit yourself to ongoing professional development. Just like you do in all of your careers there, just commit yourself to a little bit of personal development. Get better. Get better at something, right? Become a bigger person. improve your skills, improve your talent, and more is going to come onto you. If you have a big goal and your reason is why, and you think about some of those things that you want, and there's some big things, you need to be a better person and bigger person to be able to communicate that. And you really need to apply some of these rules that we put in place here, some of the things that people before us have laid up. So with that being said, thank you everyone who was on the call tonight. Hopefully you're able to apply some of the things that you got here. Hopefully you got a lot out of it. We will continue to have these training sessions. Be on the lookout for that. God bless, and be a champion.